guys, so this is my second YouTube video to discuss about the quiz on 12/12. So I'm gonna now start with the 5 questions that I posted in my Instagram. So if you haven't followed my Instagram yet, you can go ahead and follow. I will be updating my quiz very frequently and also participate in that lah. Okay, all right, so the first question over here. So on the 12/12, I posted this first question that doesn't have a lot of content. It's just a word debit, credit, and also X and Y. So you got to pick the correct combination for your answer. So what are the things that can be on the debit side and which are the account that can be on the credit side? This one you got to understand based on klasifikasi perakaunan, which is asset belanja on the debit side, hasil EP and liability will sit on the credit side. So this is how you differentiate the account. So based on my jawapan here, the correct answer should be D, which is kada bayaran dengan dividend. Mainly because kada bayaran is a belanja, dividend is a hasil. That's why you see belanja sits on debit. That's why it's X. Hasil sits on credit, that's why it's Y. Now, meanwhile, for the rest of them, they cannot fit because model is a credit item, klasifikasi is EP, while ambilan is a negative EP. So they are terbalik already. Supposedly, ambilan is debit, model is on the credit side. So A is wrong. Okay, B, jualan dengan belian also terbalik because jualan is hasil, belian is belanja. Supposed to be belian debit, hasil jualan credit. Okay, so last one, ABB and ABT. This one also wrong, terbalik, because ABT is an asset. It's supposed to be on debit side, while ABB is liability, so should be credit. So final answer B. Okay, next one, question number 2. Question number 2 is antara yang berikut yang manakah sebab makluman kredit dikeluarkan? So one thing you gotta understand this document, okay? Makluman kredit is issued by pihak bank sahaja. Only pihak bank can issue this to you. And from bank's point of view, credit is actually to add on money into your bank account, which is to inform you your bank account telah dikreditkan, as in increase. So based on these 4 choices, which are the things that can increase your bank account? I'll say definitely not faedah atas overdraft and definitely not chargeback, because these 2 is actually minusing money out from your bank account. So 3 and 4 is wrong. Your answer can only be 1 and 2, which is A. So that's why. Okay. All right. So next one, question number 3. Question number 3 here, it says antara yang berikut manakah memberi kesan ke atas untung bersih perniagaan? So this is important. Now, untung bersih is where we calculate using AKP. No, not AKP, okay? It's AKUR, which is the later part. So why? Because AKP here, what you will get is untung atau rugi kasar first. And so if you want to find untung or rugi bersih, it should be the later part. So what does it contain inside account untung rugi? This you gotta understand. Inside account untung rugi, you will only have to see hasil ataupun belanja that is other than jualan dengan belian, because J jualan and B belian is under account perdagangan. So what are the hasil and belanja given here? You have angkutan keluar. This is the belanja. Sewa belum bayar? No, because sewa belum bayar is a liability semasa. Haven't paid, berhutang, liability. While insurance prabayar also cannot. This is asset semasa. So the last choice, commission diterima, this is a hasil. So your choice should be 1 and 4. Answer B. Okay, alright, so next question, number 4. Encik Amin memiliki share biasa dalam syarikat SPINN. Now, take note, share biasa. If you did actually read through your syarikat berhad chapter, share biasa and share keutamaan is very in contrast. They are not the same one. Because why? SP, the only thing they have is the first one, the first ciri. The rest all don't have. While SK, the first thing doesn't have, but the rest of them, yes. So what are those things that they are in contrast of? So mainly this one, okay? The same ciri that they share, which is actually hak mengundi. So do you all know what is the meaning of undi? Undi means to vote for the next pengarah, the next lembaga pengarah. So among share biasa and share keutamaan, your share biasa only have the rights to vote, while SK only invest money into the syarikat berhad, which is to buy the shares. So that's why answer here, menerima dividen pada kadar yang sama is wrong, because share biasa is not being guaranteed to get dividend every year. They only get dividend after share keutamaan. So if share keutamaan were to claim the whole of the dividend, then share biasa would get 0. So they don't have it tidak tetap. Okay, for share biasa should be tidak tetap. So B is wrong. Continue by C. Menerima tunggakan dividend. Now, if you've forgotten what is the meaning of tunggakan dividend means bring forward or brought forward. Okay, so I put here bring forward. And this advantage is only gonna be applicable to your SK sahaja. Now, why? Because the concept is like this. SK, since the beginning, we already promised them a certain percentage. So you will notice whenever you do syarikat berhad question, there is a percentage beside of share keutamaan's name, which is example like this, 5% share keutamaan. So what does this 5% stands for? 5% is the promise amount that we will give share keutamaan during the year. So if I couldn't pay them with the existing keuntungan of the syarikat, then how? I will bring forward to the following year, pay them the remaining plus what we promised them yearly. So this tunggakan dividend is only applicable for share keutamaan, not for share biasa. Share biasa will get the leftover. So C is wrong. Now, final one, D. Diberi keutamaan untuk menguruskan syarikat. No, okay. Pemegang share doesn't have the right to take care of your syarikat one. Syarikat is took care by lembaga pengarah. Our shareholders, pemegang share, only invest in and wait for dividend yearly. So D is wrong. Answer is berpeluang mengundi. They only have this right is to vote for lembaga pengarah. Okay, so this is question number 4. Now, final one to our 5th question. I think this is the one that most students struggle with because I look at the ratio of the answer. Most people have chose the other answers other than the correct one. So which is the correct answer? Let me show you step by step, then you will know which is the correct answer. So here, this is actually from Form 5, Bab 6, Kelab dan Persatuan. Okay, Kelab dan Persatuan. So this is a very important part because not only paper 1 will come out, your paper 2 might also appear under question number 1, which is a structural question. It will give you around 4 marks or 2 marks like that. So because question 1 is all 2 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks, roughly around 5 questions there to get you 10 marks in total. So this Kelab dan Persatuan question, yuran, is fixed one, okay? The inner part will never change things in position. Yuran belum terima, yuran belum terperoleh. They have a specific position. So how do we know that? Now you will put it down first, okay? The yuran that you want to do, the account yuran that you want to do will look like this. So we're not even caring about yuran being a hasil, it will be tambah where, tolak where. No, we don't care about that. We will mainly focus on the items that they provide. So over here, they have provided us with yuran belum terima, yuran belum terperoleh of 1st January and 31st December. So you can make it a habit, okay? Whenever you see things that have date, 1st January, 31st December, immediately you go and label them by Baki BB dengan Baki HB because this is our tempo, 1 year. The beginning will be Baki awal BB and the ending of the year is going to be your Baki akhir HB. So by labeling that, what is the next step? Next step is to understand the classifikasi. Yuran belum terima is actually asset semasa. Yuran belum terperoleh, liability semasa. So why do I need the classifikasi? Because how are we going to position the Baki BB is going to focus based on their individual classifikasi. So if the classifikasi you label wrongly, then you will put them to the wrong side inside your ledger account yuran. Okay, so now asset. How are we going to follow? Now asset semasa Baki BB is on the debit side, while HB is credit, but I wouldn't label it. Why? Because here, do you see it's a dash? There is no number for Baki HB. So I'm going to skip now to the next one. Yuran belum terperoleh doesn't have anything for the Baki BB, so I just need to identify. for your Baki HB. But I think this is a bit difficult for you. It's okay. We will go since the start, okay? Liability is Baki BB on the credit side, Baki HB debit. So in the end, conclusion, I'm gonna have this as my first step. Baki BB to come first inside the account, and your last step will be your yuran belum terboleh. So then I will put it as number 3. Okay, number 3. So who is number 2? Now, number 2 is how much did you receive during the year? So you need to see whether the question gives you the info of yuran diterima, okay, which is how much you receive, or the question tells you how much you should receive. So we have 2 terms for it, which is yang diterima. We call that as bank. Okay, yang diterima is bank, while yang sebenar, which is the whole year, how much you should receive, we call that as pendapatan dan perbelanjaan. Okay, I'm gonna move this over later because it's blocking my account yuran, yeah? So you're gonna have these 2 butir, but don't worry, they will not ask you to find both of it. They will only want either one of them. So it's or. Okay, bank or pendapatan dan perbelanjaan. So based on here, look at the sentence down here. Now, I noticed that a lot of you didn't really care about this number here, so that's why you will pick the wrong one. So here it says jumlah yuran diterima. So they didn't say this is the yuran that patut diterima, but they say this is the amount you just received. So receiving is actually considered bank, not pendapatan dan perbelanjaan. So you gotta understand, if I receive yuran, to us, bank is gonna be recorded on which side? My bank account, of course, is gonna go to the debit because I receive money increase, debit side. So if I wanna do catatan berguna, isn't it debit gotta be posted into the credit side of account yuran? So the sequence will go like this. This is our number 2. So pendapatan dan perbelanjaan will be a question mark for us to find. So you fill up according to sequence. First step is going to be our Baki BB yuran belum terima. You put that to your, wrong side, on the debit side. Yuran belum terima 105. Okay, put that in. And then the second step, okay, bang, put them to the credit side. Bank, I received 3180. Then last step, okay, before we move on to put the HB in, you gotta save a space for your pendapatan dan perbelanjaan. So as I said, they must be or either one that they provide to you, then you find the opposite. So that's why this pendapatan dan perbelanjaan, you gotta save a space over here for it. So on the debit side, you gotta write pendapatan dan perbelanjaan. It's a question mark, you leave it as question mark, and then only you proceed to move your Baki HB in, which is a yuran belum terboleh. Okay, so worth 65 ringgit. Go and find, okay, how much is the sebenar supposed to be? Now, I received 3180. I want them both sides to be balanced, but now my debit side is not balanced because I have a question mark. So how to find this question mark? Just take your 3180 minus 65 minus 105. So take out your calculator and start calculating now. 3180 minus 65 and 105. Our sebenar is supposed to be 3010. So the correct answer, A. Okay, so you see, it's very important. If your Baki, BB, and HB, you position them wrongly. You imagine you put your 65 over here. What answer would you get? The answer you get is 3140. So normally for objective question, they will do this. They will provide you with ABCD that is possible for you to find out. So sometimes if you don't double check, you just press using your calculator without throwing out the account yuran, you thought that the position is correct, but turns out they give you all the possible answer, but it's not the correct one. The correct one is 3010. So you guys gotta make sure, do not get tricked. Always label properly for your Baki, BB, and HB because they are the point that might trick you and get you your wrong answer. Okay, so that's all for our quiz 12-12. I will go on and try to give you guys more challenging questions. So make sure to participate and stay tuned for my next video. Okay, bye-bye.